Okay, so the definition of ethos is the personal credibility of a speaker. It refers to the speaker's credibility and trustworthiness, and then how the audience perceives their character and reputation. Pathos, this is the speakers appealing to the audience's emotions. This is persuasive technique when speaking. It allows the audience to have a certain response to the speaker. And then logos means to use the evidence and reasoning to create and back up an argument. This can mean using data, facts, and evidence to back up your claim or argument to the audience. And then with Mary's speech, the way she used ethos for her credibility was actually like having HIV. So whenever she was talking about it, it just backed up because she made the audience aware that she knows what she like has and that this is the actual problem and this is what people go through. She is a speaker and she has met with many people and people with the White House, and she's just had many political power. And then by seeing her character, people can see that she speaks out to protect others, and that she's trustworthy. She uses her power to stand up for those who can't for themselves. At the beginning of her speech, the way she used pathos was at the beginning of her speech, she told the audience of a story about her two sons. This emotionally impacted the audience. And then the way she added at the beginning that she wanted to bring the problem to the public, not to bring popularity for herself, but to speak up for those who need it. Mary also brought up how it affects everyone because anyone can get it. This made the audience more in tune to what she was saying. And then towards the middle of her speech, she was talking about her family. And then whenever she started talking about her father and then the Holocaust and then how whatever she used, like what he went through, how it affected her, you could see people were crying throughout the audience and that it really impacted the audience. And then the way she used logos was she brought up that 200,000 Americans alone were dying, and that all the data she added, it was how people were affected by the disease. And then she talked about how it affects women and children and is the third biggest killer. And then she just went on about how like all the evidence was showing that like people were dying and people who aren't even gay or like they're married, they're straight, and like no matter what like race they were, people were affected, and the evidence showed that. And so she kept on talking about that. And then the most important motivational appeals is pathos. The most important for a speaker is pathos, because if you have even if you have credibility or facts, you need to actually impact the audience in order for them to listen. By connecting with the audience, it makes the speech more relatable and memorable. Many speakers use this to evoke a response from the crowd, whether sad, happy, or angry. It is used to bring emotions. That is why pathos is the most important for persuasive speaking, because it causes an emotional response to your argument or claim.